Do you think the city of Patterson should furnish water and sewer to the Crow's Landing project at the Naval Air Base?
No, I think that they should pay for it themselves. I mean, if they want to go ahead and bring that growth and that impact to Patterson, I think that they need to come up with their own solution to their water and sewer concerns or situations. So, no, Patterson, we have our own situations to handle, and I don't think that we should even consider at this point.
Okay. What would you do about the M Street crossing?
The M Street crossing, trying to push it forward a little bit more. Believe it or not, since I got elected back in 1996, the first time when I got elected as council member, we've been dealing with that for the longest time. And just, I would say, about a year ago, when Stan Cock held a workshop, our Caltrans representative, I asked him, what is the situation with that? And he said, it's on your people. So I come back, I talked to Cleve. Cleve said, we got what we needed to get taken care of, something about plans or designs or engineering, something. Come to find out that, they got that taken care of. Now it's going to go back to Caltrans, and it's probably more politics. But I will do everything I can to push it. Please.
What city mirrors your vision of Patterson?
What city mirrors?
Yeah, your vision of Patterson.
My vision of Patterson.
And why?
My vision of Patterson is that I'd like to mirror ourselves to Turlock. I like Turlock because Turlock is not this big metropolitan city. By no way, shape, or form is it Modesto, but it's not a small city either. Where it's geographically located near 99, I think it's a big advantage to them. I think their size is beneficial to them because they're able to provide amenities for all of their citizens. They have industrial, they have commercial, they have retail, and they have a variety of housing mixes. Apartment complexes, single families, multifamilies, big estate style homes for, some of your more affluent. So they have entertainment, they have the theater, they have a variety of eating fast food as well as fine dining restaurants. So I don't want to say that in 1, 5, 10 years, but maybe 20 to 40 years, maybe 50 years is what I'd like to mirror Patterson to look like is Turlock.
Great. You said the economy is the #1 issue facing Patterson. What can you do as mayor to improve the city's economy given the current budget restraints?
I think that if we continue to be fiscally responsible the way we've been with our budget, I think that we'll ride this storm. And I think that if we stay open to helping those people who are losing their homes or are having problems paying their Mello-Roos tax, is to be sympathetic of them, to realize that if it's their home that they're losing, not an investment home or a second home. If it's their family owned, their primary residence, then the city needs to look at maybe working individually with homeowners so that we can help them to try to help them to weather this storm just as well too. Go ahead.
What can the city do as far as the Mello-Roos? I mean, is there things that you can do if there's
what we're doing right now individually with some homeowners is we have payment plans. We're extending the period. We're pulling it, as you know, in order for us to be able to do that. We pulled that tax from the tax rolls from the county so that we can control that, and we can pretty much do and work with the homeowner however we feel fit. And at this point, some of them, our staff is working with some of them to establish payment plans so that we can go ahead and at least help them to get current on their Mello-Roos taxes. And of course, obviously, to stimulate the economy, I think that we still need to try to attract businesses. Right now, I think that's what the city needs to focus on is retail, commercial, industrial, whatever businesses we can bring into Patterson, and try to ease the process of coming into Patterson is what I'd like to really continue to focus on.
Okay. With most development being geared towards Sperry and Ward, what can you do to ensure that the east side of town does not fall further behind?
I think that the if we focus on the fact that we've got the school going up on that side, and we're going to have children that are going to be going there, I'd like to look at the possibility of some commercial growth on that side, especially in the villages part, in the what is it, the villages, the John Ramos project. I know that he's proposing, part retail and some light industrial and so forth. I would like to see, how soon could we bring that in and see if maybe we can go ahead and try to attract businesses to help some of the residents on the other side so that they don't feel left out. Right now, absolutely, the railroad tracks, maybe the oleanders, the frozen foods building kind of sort of gives it like a barrier, to the other side. And we do have a lot of residents that live on the other side that do feel like, they're left out, obviously. I think that the school will help it tremendously. And I think that if the city focuses on bringing in more retail and commercial, especially in the areas that are designated in that new development to the east, I think we'll probably see some positive things happening on the east side.
Okay. Are you for or against the half-cent sales tax?
I am for it.
Okay.
And the reason I'm for it is because I believe that if we don't become a self-help county, that we're going to be behind in trying to obtain state and federal funding, matching funds for any projects that we come up with here in Patterson. If you go to other neighboring counties, you will see that their roads are in much, much better place, in much better shape. They're already, for example, San Jose County already has the half-cent sales tax in place, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I'm not sure if they've already renewed it, but I look forward to the residents of Patterson understanding that the importance of having that half-cent sales tax here in Patterson so that we are able to fix some of our older streets. A lot of the times we don't have money allocated for older streets. A lot of the times when you see a new development come to town, we have a lot of the older residents complaining that why do the new residents, the new part of the town, get everything good, the new roads, the street lights, the landscaping, and it's difficult to let them know that those residents are paying for that themselves because of the Melrose and other districts that we have on the rolls. On the old part of the town, it's a huge challenge because we have monies allocated for road improvements, but a lot of the times it's not enough. If we pass the half-cent sales tax, and that will help the city to increase that portion of our revenue so that we can go ahead and focus on some of the old parts of town, especially some of the alleys.
Okay. How would you encourage smart growth and development for the future of our economy and city?
I think that by including everybody who is a player, including the community members, including the landowners, including potential developers, and obviously our staff and our city officials, any other governmental organizations like the school, like the health district, like the fire district, so that we can all sit down and plan what we would like Patterson to look like in the future. And obviously to balance our growth. I know that there's this thing about jobs to housing balance that is in our current general plan. If we don't really sit down and talk about the realities of things, how difficult is it for a business to come to town? And how viable is it for example, a Target to come to town? We all want businesses like that, but the reality of it is, can we help them to make that viable? And I think that it takes all players, not just your city council, not just your staff, not just city staff, but everybody in town, everybody who's a player, to come together and come up with a good plan that will help us to come up with smart growth. And I think that it can be attained.